What's up? It's DJ Duffey. I want DJ Duffey. And I'm finna practice my second day of practicing, so y'all be easy on me.
Draw it like I'm an artist, no crawling, went straight to walking with foreigns in my garages. Are foreign bitches menaging, fucking sucking and swallowing anything for $1. They tell me get 'em, I got 'em.
Hello and welcome to the Industry Unscripted. I am your host, Tenay, and today I have a very special, sexy friend with me today, DJ Duffey. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Now, I've known you for a while, personally, and you've lived a couple of different lives. You've been a basketball player, you're a DJ, a photographer, a socialite, fashionista. Now, a mom. You've been a wife. Yes, you've been.
We can keep going.
You have a list of things that you've done. So, how does that make you feel that you've lived so many lives in such a short amount of time?
It makes me feel like I'm special, and I just feel like I have a purpose. And since I was a young kid, I always knew that I was going to be something or someone or be famous. It was like always a goal of mine to be famous. Like I wanted to be on the Real World's Road Rules and all that. I used to be like, I'm going to get on there one day. So it's just like, I've just been trying to find myself throughout life. I just been trying to find my calling. So anytime I get an inspiration or a thought or, maybe a message I feel from maybe God, I say, I go for it, whether that be in a relationship or with a new career or, new job or whatever.
And most people don't know that you are an ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And your ex-husband's Brian Jackson,
mm-hmm.
and he was playing for the New York Giants. He's
mm-hmm.
not anymore, right?
No,
okay. So how was that being a football wife? Like, were you a sunbeam? Like, what was happening?
The short time I was an NFL wife, I just did all the things that I should do. I stopped with the nightlife and, I started cooking and cleaning and just, focusing on his career. And, he was the center of attention and everything, was around him. And I kind of like lost myself because I had always been a very outgoing person and always involved in a lot of stuff. And so when I was married, I kind of cut all that out, got pregnant on my honeymoon. And so, being pregnant and NFL wife, I really couldn't do much. But, I was very supportive and was at the games and stuff like that.
Now, TV would have us to believe that being a football wife or NBA wife is just full of drama. Like,
mm-hmm.
was that your life?
I didn't encounter much drama because I wasn't very sociable with the girls in New York because he was a rookie, he barely made the team. So, they really didn't care about me, I was pregnant, like I said, so a lot of the time I missed a lot of functions and stuff like that due to morning sickness. And I was only in New York for about 6 months before I came back to Texas because I was just depressed and I was like sick from my baby, so I had to go back home. I wasn't around drama, so.
So what brought on the divorce?
I caught him cheating.
Okay. That's
as
always,
most divorces.
Grounds for divorce.
He was just associating with a lot of people from Oklahoma. And it was very hard for me because when we were in college, I was out there. I did do my own thing. Like, I was a party girl. We had times where we broke up and we dated other people. But when we decided to make a commitment before God and before our family, I took that very seriously. And he had been a great boyfriend throughout the 6-7 years we were dating before we got married. I had no concerns and no doubt in my mind that we would probably be together forever. But the NFL changed him. The money and the power and the success made him become somebody completely different. And he became very cocky, very arrogant, and just not caring at all. So when I caught him cheating, it was kind of his way to get out of the situation. He just wanted to be free and, live this new life without having the responsibility of a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
He wasn't, he didn't want that life anymore that he had thought he had wanted. So it ended.
So now that y'all have a child together, what's your relationship like now?
We're pretty good. Like, I don't have any baby mama drama because I handle everything on my own. Like, being successful, like, I pay for everything. I handle everything. I don't, need him for anything. So therefore, when I see him, when he does decide to come get my son, it's all good. Because, I guess if I needed his money when I see him and knowing that he's not, paying child support like he should, I'd probably be upset and probably, would be mad every time I see him. But it's all love. Like, I'm like, hey, as long as you treat my son good, we're good. Because, he's taken care of. He has everything he could ever want and more, so.
Now, we're going to fast forward to about 2 years later. You and we were at a French Montana recording session. And you pulled me and Bebe to the side. And for the people who don't know who Bebe is, he's like one of the biggest on-air personalities in Dallas. And he's also signed to Maybach Music.
Yes.
So you pulled us aside and you said, I want to be a DJ.
Yes, I did.
What made you come or have this epiphany, like, this is what I want to do now?
Okay, so there's two factors. One, a lot of people don't know, I was a communication technology major at UTA. I was working at Enterprise Car Rental, and I felt like that life wasn't for me.
You hooked me up a couple of times.
Yes, I hooked up everybody with car rental.
Thank you for that family.
But it just wasn't me. Like, people who know me, like, I'm not gonna sell cars or rent cars for the rest of my life. And I wanted to use my degree. You know, I wanted to do something in a field that, you know, I had studied 4 years for. Then on the flip side, on my personal life and fun life, I love going out. I love being with like the rappers and singers and in the studios, like, you know, like how we were, like I would go in the studio not to, you know, be up under the guy. I would love the whole process, and I would see those boards and wonder, how does that work? Like, how does all this work? I would be curious.
By it, yeah.
Yes, I'd be curious. I would want to actually learn. So I sat down one day and I was like, I wanna make money. I want to be in the industry. And I was like, okay, I could be a rapper, or I could try to marry a rapper, or I could try to find a job in the field somehow, you know, maybe a producer, A&R. So I just had all these thoughts. I was watching Millionaire Matchmaker, and it was this white girl. She was a DJ. She traveled in Australia. She was a millionaire from being a DJ. And I was like, dang, females can be a DJ. I was like, why not try that? It was just a thought, and I ran with it. Once I get a thought in my head, I just run with it. Like, there's no stopping me. And that's came the day that I told y'all that I wanted to be a DJ.
Now, you've only been doing it for like 2 years, but you have really taken off with this career. Why do you think that you've taken off so quickly?
I think I've taken off so quickly because I'm just a determined, passionate person, and I'm intelligent, and I knew that I could teach myself how to do it because of the training I had at UTA, and because of my love for music, and because of my personality, and because of the relationships that I built prior to. I was a party girl, and everybody knew me, and I could go into any club any day and walk up and not have any worries. So I'm like, well, dang, if I could, you know, DJ, I could probably get a job pretty quick, which I did. And I got a job with DWI, and I started Glass Lounge, which was one of the most poppin' Fridays that we'd had a long time in Dallas. And, you know, I just became like DJ Duffey. I built my own website, my own logo. You know, I changed my Twitter name at the time to I Want DJ Duffey, and I made people respect me as I Want DJ Duffey. So once I gotten so deep in it, I was like, there's no turning back
at all.
I'm not the quitting type. So I was like, I'm gonna make it, and I just really like invested my time. I would work from 6 a.m. to 6. I would pick up my son from daycare. I would put him to bed by 9 o'clock, and then I would practice till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I did that for 6, 7 months straight until I felt like I was good enough to actually DJ. Now looking back on the video, I didn't do a good job on my opening night. But
because I remember that. I remember the promo video, and it was your first.
You were in my promo
video, and it was August 24th, Club Zook, your birthday.
But you see how I did things like I was already a big DJ, and I had never DJ'd in a club. But that's how you have to do it. Like, if you want people to respect you, you have to give them something to respect, you know. And that's what I tell a lot of these artists out here that come up to me and they say that, you know, they want to be the next 2 Chainz or Lil Wayne, and then I look at their stuff and they have one song, and I go on their Instagram and nothing's really about rap on, you know, the rapping lifestyle. I'm like, you're not serious invested.
About
you're not. You have a lot more work to do. So I wanted people to respect me. I knew that was going to be hard going from a, you know, party chick to a DJ. I knew I would have to take it seriously.
Why do you think that you surpassed DJs who've been doing it for years and years and still can't get booked at a major club?
It's all about who you know. Like, and it really is. It's about who you know, and being blessed enough to have all these great relationships with clubs and promoters. I've gotten the chance over these 2 years to practice 4 nights a week in front of a live audience, which most up and coming DJs and even people who've been DJing for a long time, they don't get the pleasure of DJing 4 to 5 nights a week in front of a live audience.
I mean, not even live, like you're DJing for artists now. Like
yes.
you're like you just opened up for Young Jeezy.
And that was
Trina,
a beautiful thing. Yeah. Like Bebe was there on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
When I came off the side of the stage, Bebe was like, wow, like you out here really doing it. And it was so special to me because I really respect him. And like I said, you know, I remember telling y'all, you know, when I first started, so people like him that are out here, you know, doing big things for Dallas in the industry, them seeing me, you know, K104, they support me, 97.9, they support me. Like, everyone is so nice to me, and they tell me that they see what I'm doing, and, you know, they're proud of all the moves I'm making, working with Vlad TV and doing all these things that I didn't even, you know, being an interviewer, doing interviews for a hip-hop website was never even a thought of mine, and now that I'm doing it, you know, so opportunities are coming every day for me, and so I'm just blessed. I'm really thankful.
Now, according to your Instagram, you've been doing some things with Timbaland. Are you allowed to speak
of course.
on that? Okay.
No, Timbaland is great. He's very open. Like, if you go on his social media, you see, like, he doesn't really hold back much
At all. Okay.
So, you know, it's something that I've kept quiet only because it's just us building a relationship right now, and it's not like I'm signing a deal or anything's coming from it. It's just he heard about me from a producer here from Fort Worth who produces for Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, and Jay-Z, and he told Timbaland that he believed in me and that he thought that he should check me out. And Timbaland he's saying that next year he feels like it's the year of females in hip hop and that females are going to take over. And if you look at the pattern, it's starting to look that way, that you won't only see just a Nicki Minaj and a Beyonce as being the only figures. It's going to be, you know, the Iggy Azale's and, you know, all these new artists that are going to come out of nowhere in hip hop, all shapes and colors and sizes, you know, and it's just going to be, it's going to be refreshing, it's going to be new, and it's going to be a lot of females involved. So he's just been reaching out to different females out that are doing things and just helping us out and giving us knowledge. And, you know, Rick, which is, you know, a very close friend of his, he kind of does some management for him and a best friend. He's helping me now, you know, so, and he's from Dallas. So hopefully, you know, we get some stuff going in the works. We got some stuff we're discussing, but we'll see. You know, we're talking about maybe doing a reality show or something like that, which I think would be great for me because that's what I need is people to see my personality, you know.
So, have you met his artist Tink?
Yeah, yes.
So
I love Tink.
I love her too.
She's so sweet.
Are you gonna work with her at all?
We've talked about it. She said that she's always wanted, you know, a female DJ, and you know, right now she's just developing herself, and you know, her and Timbaland are so focused on getting her album done and doing stuff like that. But we definitely talked about maybe if she goes on like a tour, you know, me just being an opening DJ, not DJing for her, but being like the opening DJ like I did for Jeezy concert, you know, being like the DJ that gets the crowd ready for her and stuff like that. I think that that's something I really want to do because I really want to brand DJ Duffey, and I don't want people to just attach me to one artist. Yeah, I kind of just want to make my name a brand. But yeah, I mean, I wish the best for her. I think she's amazing. I think Timbaland has a great vision, and he's very lucky to have her, and she's lucky to have him.
Now, knowing how hard you work to get to the point that you're at now, does it bother you when people say you're not a good DJ?
Yeah. I haven't heard that. So.
Yeah, okay. Well,
no, I really haven't. I'm sure people say it. I mean, I'm sure they do, but like nobody has said it to me. I haven't even on my social media, I haven't had anybody come on and say, "Oh, you suck as a DJ." Maybe in the beginning, but no time recently, I haven't had that. So I'm grateful to either miss those comments or, you know, I don't have people to come up and say that.
Because you think you're a good DJ.
Yeah, I think I'm an amazing DJ, the best female DJ
out there right
now, hip hop.
Now, you've been linked to a couple of celebrities, but of course the main one is Drizzy Drake. Mm-hmm. So how did that come about? You have to give the tea. You got to spill right now.
How did I meet him?
Yeah.
I met him when I was in college at UTA. I was just fresh turned 21 and just had learned about the nightlife. And Drizzy Inc. Had invited me out to a party and had a game the next day. And I was like, no, I'm not coming out. He was like, man, you gotta come out. It's gonna be good. They got this young cat here from Toronto. He was like on some show and he's like a rapper. He was like, I'm trying to just get some pretty girls to come out and show them a good time. Like, just do it for me, please. I didn't know who he was, honestly. I had never seen Degrassi. And at the time, you know, I wasn't big on like the underground music. So if it wasn't on the radio, then, you know, if it wasn't Beyonce or Alicia Keys or something, I didn't know who it was. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, why not? I'm trying to get into the scene and, you know, get a good relationship with these promoters, which helped me down the line because he was the first promoter to hire me for my first night DJing. So, I go in and he was there. And I saw that he was there with it was like Melissa Ford was there. She was hosting and she had a table and he had a table and I felt like the vibe that they might have been there together. But I didn't care, so I just stopped. You know, I went up, I introduced myself, being the friendly person I am. I really just wanted to meet him, and we just vibed. Like, we just clicked. Like, we were talking about basketball, and, you know, he was telling me about himself, I was telling him about me, and we just clicked. We had, like, a great, great time. And, you know, I felt like I didn't want to disrespect her because I didn't know if they were there together or not at the time. So, we just exchanged info, and I was like, you know, next time you come to Dallas, just hit me up, you know, because I see, you know, you might be busy or whatever. He was like, no. I was like, nah, yeah. No, you did. So, but it was great. We clicked. He was like, he wanted to go to my basketball game the next day. And he was
came.
like, no, not that time. He came later on.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to come the next day, but his flight was leaving. So after that, we kept in contact, and we just became good friends. We just, you know, built a relationship. It wasn't anything fast. You know, we were just talking and stuff like that.
Are y'all still cool now?
Yes, we are still friends. We will always be friends. We've been through so much together, and he's such an amazing person. Like, I feel very lucky to have met him and known him. You know, he's one of the inspirations of why I do what I do. You know, seeing that someone can come from nothing and make so much of themselves in this industry. You know, he motivates me, and he's so passionate about what he does and innovative, and, you know, he doesn't care what people think. So I love that about him.
Now, one of the biggest DJ Duffey rumors that I've always heard was that you broke up with Drake to get married to Brian. Is that true?
Well, what time is it? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't say we broke up. You remember, me and Brian had split up, and then the guy that I started talking to after that was Drake. And we were just, like I said, building a friendship, and we were just getting closer and closer and closer. And I really did want it to turn into a relationship, but whenever everything came out on the media about me and him dating, because he had came to my basketball game, that was a lot for me. I was young, I was in college, I have a very conservative family, and so when everything came online like that, I got really scared and nervous because I had like 100 text messages in my phone and people were asking me questions.
No, I remember that morning K104 was like reporting like, oh, Drake has a girlfriend from Dallas, she goes to UTA, plays basketball. I was like, wait a minute, when did this happen?
Like, it was overwhelming for me, cause especially like I had missed practice, like go out of town to see him. I'm telling him I was sick, so I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get kicked off the basketball team. My parents didn't know me and my boyfriend had broke up. We were together for 6 years, so I was scared to tell my parents we had broke up. So they were like, who is this rapper you're dating when you're cheating on your boyfriend? I was like, well, technically I'm not
at all.
But you know, so then my ex-husband Brian at the time, he had an epiphany that he really loved me and cared about me and wanted to marry me. And so he came and surprised me and had a ring and apologized for everything he had done and wanted to show me how serious he was about being with me. So I had to make a decision at that time. Do I keep, you know, dating this rapper and, you know, see where that goes? Or do I, you know, be with the guy that I was with for, 6+ years, who really loved me, who knew loved me? You know, I cared about them, you know, both, but me and Brian had a lot more history, and like I said, I would never imagine him ever doing anything, you know, wrong to me. So, you know, I just let Drake know that we couldn't talk anymore, and that I was gonna be with Brian, and that was the dumbest decision of my life.
So you regret it right now?
Yes, I do. I've been regretting it. I always felt that was not the right decision because me and Brian had fell out of love. But, you know, when you're with someone for so long, I just felt like I've always been a person, if it's the right thing to do, I'm going to do it. So I felt like it was just the right thing to do, and I didn't go with my heart. If I would have went with my heart, I would have never made that decision. But I did, and I got a son out of it who's amazing. So he's my blessing. So it worked out.
So how do you make this work? Being a single mom, being a DJ, being a photographer, flying around meeting Timbaland, like how are you making all this work right now?
I mean, it's just, to me, I'm just living life, and it's easy to me. Like, it's not very hard. Like, I feel blessed. Like I said, working at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock at night, renting out cars and ugly ass outfits, and, you know, to now dressing all cute and going to DJ and taking shots with people and flying out to see the biggest producers in the world, and, you know, talking to artists, and, you know, all these big plans. Like, I could never complain. I will never complain. Anytime that I'm about to go to work and I'll just say, oh, I'm tired, I remember, like, no.
How blessed you are.
How blessed
to be
I am.
where you're
I'm
at.
very blessed to be where I'm at. I'm very thankful.
Now, of course, there is a lot of slander that comes with this lifestyle, and a lot of haters. So does that bother you when people come at you with, oh, she's a hoe, she's a this, she's a
And that's another thing. I used to get a lot more, she's a hoe, she's this, back in the day. But right now, I feel like so many people respect me and what I do. And I try to carry myself well. Like, I do have my turn-up moments when I'm drunk at the club where I might end up dancing on the bar, you know, ass might come out, whatever.
Maybe.
Everybody, you know, everybody in this nightlife has those moments. But online, you know, I'm a professional at what I do. I work hard at what I do, and I'm nice to everybody I meet. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have, nobody knows you, or you're, you know, the highest person in Dallas. Like, I treat everybody the same. And so I don't get a lot of negativity. Like, I might have to block somebody like twice a month. And to me, that's crazy. I would think that I would have to do that more often, but really I get a lot of positive energy. But I think that's because I give so much positive, and I'm not very like stuck up or conceited like most people would think. Like that, I meet a lot of girls and be like, dang, I thought you were gonna be like different, but you cool. I'm like, well, what do you think I was gonna be like, you know? So, but yeah, I mean, I keep the peace everywhere I go, and I just try to bring positive energy, because if I wasn't, I'm out here in this nightlife, like, people could mess me up, you know? Like, you got to be careful out here. Like, there's some crazy people out there. So I'm just nice to everybody I meet, and, you know, every artist that come up to me and ask me questions, I always am very responsive to them.
So where do you see DJ Duffey 5 years from now?
You know, probably like a stripper or something, like, just like,
Okay.
No, 5 years from,
always hiring.
You know, let's see, 5 years from now, I'll be like in my 30s. I don't know, you know, wherever the industry takes me, but I hope working for maybe like a record label or a radio station, you know, would be ideal for me and what I'm doing, or maybe a wedding photographer. You know, I do photography now, and I like to have a backup plan, because, you know, I can't be in the nightlife all the time, and if being a club DJ ends for me one day, I want to have a backup plan. So I am working on photography, so that could be an option for me. But I mean, I would love to work, you know, as like an A&R, like DJ Drama is doing right now, or, you know, in the studio producing and you know, helping other artists make it. You know, that would be ideal for me. But just wherever the wind blows, you know, whatever God has in store for me, but from whatever I'm gonna be doing, you know, I'm gonna be killing it. So I do know that much. You know, I'm sure one day I'm gonna have this idea in my head, and then y'all gonna be like, wow.
Look at this girl.
What's she doing now? You know, so.
But I feel like that already. I feel like every time I look up, I'm like, wait, Tasha's where? Or where is she? She's doing something. What? Now she's a photographer. She's doing jewelry. Like, it's
photographer,
always something.
DJ, interviewer for Vlad TV. Like, you know, I'm just blessed, man. I'm just gonna keep working hard, and for Dallas and for other women out there watching what I do. I'm not perfect, you know, I'm not trying to be anybody's role model. I'm just trying to be a good person and take care of my son, my family, and, you know, set a good example.
Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
No problem, only for you.
Only for me.
It's probably gonna get me in trouble.
No, it's not.
I'm sure it will.
No, it's not. No,
I'm sorry.
Nothing's bad here.
I'm sorry. You know I'm talking to. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Industry Unscripted. Again, I'm your host, Tenay, and everybody has a story, so please come and tell me yours.